Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Doom Productions podcast, a podcast hosted by Doom Productions. I'm Jordan.
This is off to a great start.
I'm just so used to it starting with Jordan and listening to it.
You're just reciting
I'm just reciting
Oh,
what I
man.
hear when I edit.
I'm Jordan.
No, wait. Oh, we're keeping that intro?
We got
Oh
it.
yeah, absolutely.
Shoot. I'm Ethan.
I'm Jordan, and once again, we're joined by
Zach.
Zach's back.
Zach's back. He's been away from us for a while. If you don't know who Zach is, last year, June or so,
Yeah,
June
something
or
like
May, you came to us. You've been a longtime friend, first and foremost. We've known you for a long time, and you came to us saying you had an idea for a movie, and so you pitched that to us, and we kind of worked together, collaborated together, and while your initial idea didn't get made, Wild Boys got made instead. So,
Yeah.
so the director of Wild Boys, and also just a film student currently. Where are you going to school right now?
We'll hold the directors of Wild Boys 1 and 2.
One
Yeah,
and two.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
Watch both on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you've been gone for a while, so what have you been up to?
So I was going to college for to study film, just film production, digital media, stuff like that, up in Ontario in Canada. So that was a lot of fun. So I've been gone for like 4-ish months, and now I'm back. So
You were supposed to
Yeah.
leave in September, I believe, or
I
August.
was, yeah.
And because of COVID, that kept getting pushed back. So you were doing online studies, right?
No, so I took a gap term in
Okay.
the fall just because I had recently been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And so it just seemed like just getting used to new lifestyle things that I had to incorporate to, well, live.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
important.
some of that stuff. It just seems like probably not the best time to be moving to another country.
Yeah.
So I ended up taking a gap term then and went in January. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which kind of worked out great for us selfishly because
Yeah.
we were able to have more time and work on Wild Boys 1, finish it, and then do Wild Boys 2 while you were still here. But I think that's going to be the normal part of our schedule. Like, you'll be gone during the school year,
Yeah.
but then back during the summers and winter break, spring break. I mean, when do you come back? If at all?
I will probably be back in like December, so I don't know how long that break is. I think it's like maybe 2-3 weeks, something like that. It's pretty short.
Okay. Yeah.
But then I come back in like April, so
Yeah.
yeah,
You
That's
get out of
nice.
school pretty early
very early.
compared
Yeah.
to us.
Still snow on the ground where you guys are.
Yeah. No, literally, it was crazy.
That's great. So tell us about film school, because we've on this show on our channel I've talked about my experiences in film school. We've talked to other folks who have their experiences with film school, but we've never talked with someone who's currently in a film school. So first off, what school are you going to?
I'm going to a very small university in Ancaster, Ontario, which is like maybe 40 minutes south of Toronto, called Redeemer University. It's super small, but I love the small environment and just what that has to offer. But they have a film program, which is kind of surprising for like this really small private college. And it's actually decent, which I really appreciate. And the professors are really good in that program. They know their stuff. They have plenty of experience in the with the medium, working in the industry, and have a lot of really good feedback and a lot to offer to us as students, which was such a blessing to have. Just as someone who was there first and foremost to learn more about the art, so that I can better myself. Yeah.
So you've been there for 2 terms or just 1 term?
Just one.
Just 1 term.
Yeah.
What were the classes that you took?
Well,
This is like the perfect time.
Yeah.
You only took 1 term. It's like, yeah, this is great.
yeah. No, so I took this term, it was a lot of getting caught up on some of the stuff that I didn't have credit for. Because basically what I did was I went to community college my first 2 years of college, and then now I'm going to a private university in a completely different country.
Yeah.
And so how that ends up working out is a lot of the credits don't transfer, unfortunately. So that was a little bit of a bummer. But most of my courses were just catching up with everybody else where I'm at right now. But I did take a video production course, which was a lot of fun. We made several short films, just with emphasis on different aspects of like filmmaking. It was, some of it was review, but other stuff was really good, and the review was good too. Just helping nail down like what it is to practice these different things.
A bit more technical.
Yeah. So like composition, different basic editing stuff.
That's great.
How to like operate different types of cameras, things like that. And yeah, just working with audio a little bit towards the end of the year. We didn't do very much with that though. But yeah, it was, like I said, most of it was a review, just since a lot of my credits didn't transfer just due to just curriculum and things like that, and just being out of country and things like that. But yeah, overall, very great experience. Glad I'm starting to catch up.
What was the homework like in that? Was it video projects every single week, or was it like every couple weeks there'd be a new video project? I mean, how did that all work out?
Yeah, so most of the time it was every couple of weeks. Sometimes what we did at first was we'd get into like small groups in the class and go like for the second half of the class period and go shoot something, and then have it edited by next class period to kind of show off as like a mini project. So that'd be like less than a minute, probably like between 10 and 40 seconds, something like that. Usually something super simple, but that just like got the point across that like you understood what we were going over and stuff like that. So like we did like the first half of the term was focused on like documentary filmmaking and stuff like that, and basic other basic film techniques and things like that. So that ended up culminating in our midterm being a 2-minute documentary. So like very short, but it was super fun.
What did you make your documentary on?
I did mine on my type 1 diabetes diagnosis, and how that was like in regards to how it changed in my life, what it was basically, kind of defining it, and then what it was like for the people that I was living with, just since I was living with 6 other guys. So it definitely affected their day-to-day life as well. So yeah, it was pretty simple, but it was a lot of fun. Got a lot of B-roll and interviews and good experience with that. So that was really great. Yeah.
And then what was the final?
The final, we did a narrative project for the second half of the term. That was like our big project. So that was another like 2-minute narrative film. So that was fun as well. We were given like several different scripts that my professor had actually written. And some of them were like by the screenwriting course actually as well. So some of those students helped contribute with those as well. So that was really cool. And so we got to like work with that. And so mine ended up being more like 4 minutes, which worked out fine since he was flexible with the time.
You should have turned in Wild Boys too.
I wish I could have. It would have been way too long because we were screening them in class, you see. But
I'm sorry I overachieved, Professor.
I'm sorry, I'm just better than everyone else.
Wow, boys! Wow, boys!
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I did show the films to my roommates and stuff, so that was they like found out about it through my Instagram profile, and so they were like, "We want to watch these together." And I was like, "Okay."
Zach, who are these wild boys?
Are your roommates? Are they film majors too?
So my who was my RA, Ronan, he's also in the program as well. So we hit it off right away. And then what we called our Porchies, because basically the way at least at the school I'm at, it has much nicer living situations than what we have in the States.
I can believe that. Yeah.
So basically we were living in like full townhouses. And so it was like two houses combined together, and those two houses shared a porch. And so we had a boys' dorm and a girls' dorm, and so one of my Porchies was also in film with me as well. So
Gotcha.
it was like us two, and then we ended up just using our roommates for films and stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun as well.
You're recruiting them into
as
the
you
film
do.
program.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Something I don't think we asked at the beginning. What are your hopes to get out of through film school? Like what's your focus? What are your your plans for it?
That's a good question. I definitely thought about it a lot, about whether or not I would do film school, just because I've never been like a very outstandingly academic person in regards to my performance in school. So that kind of had me nervous going into college, especially going into a area of study where you don't necessarily need to have a degree to be able to succeed in that. But like my knowledge on the area, I could definitely see the benefits for myself of going to film school, and just getting that experience, as well as just working with other people, and getting that collaboration, as well as like that level of input on like your projects and stuff, and like just being able to interact in like a set environment that feels professional, because that was like what we wanted to do, especially with like some of the higher level courses, was just really emulating the functionality of a professional set, and so that was really fun to experience as well. Just getting to do that several times throughout the 4 months, just getting to work with that, which was really good experience. Just a lot of just getting a bunch of time to just focus in on these different aspects of things, instead of like being like, oh, I've got this other thing to do or this other thing to do, and then like, oh, I can go do filming this day or whatever, but I need to focus on this stuff too. It was really nice to be able to sit down, and I mean, I had other classes too, like core classes, things like that.
Non-film related classes.
Yeah, non-film related classes. So there was that as well. But having that large of a portion of my focus being able to be dedicated to that was really nice, in that regard. Yeah.
That's good.
You talked about a little bit working on like with a real set, like a set that's like functioning more traditionally, more like a Hollywood set.
Yeah.
What has been your takeaways now that you've kind of tried both, where you've filmed with us in like a pretty non-traditional, all hands on deck, like a 4-person crew is a big crew to us, like way, versus something that is more Hollywood focused and is traditional? What's been your takeaway, and what's been your kind of observations between those two?
Oh man.
Yeah, give me a full essay of your what you've learned right now.
You can also say just that we run our sets the best, and that's okay.
That is acceptable.
I'm joking.
To a certain extent, I actually agree with that statement.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Hey, you heard it here first.
I really
Your
like...
paycheck will come in the mail later.
part of that might be because that was like my first experience in like the feature film realm and just with like on-set stuff.
We've ruined you.
But at the same time, I found that at least for both Wild Boys movies and working on the Bell Rings
And La Danza.
and La Danza now, having been working on all those things, I found that at Doomed Productions we get things done a lot quicker.
Oh yeah.
You bet we do.
So much quicker than if we were to run it like a traditional set.
Oh yeah.
Just all the different aspects. I mean, it both kind of, I don't know if I should say techniques, but like both approaches are very important and work really well depending on your circumstances and what you're trying to achieve. But there are also downsides to both as well.
Yeah.
So
Well, I've told this story before. I'm not sure if you've heard it, but one time I was helping a friend out with her class project. I was just an actor in it, so I showed up to the set, and it was like their video project, and it was run like a traditional set. You know, we had sound, camera person, director, first AD, all that kind of stuff. And it was a scene. It was like a little, maybe I'm being generous when I say 5 minutes. It was probably more like a 3-minute scene of someone walking to a kitchen, a little dialogue exchange, one tiny shot, which was a flashback, and then that was it, right? And I think I was there from like 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. And I remember filming there and being like, oh my goodness, this is taking forever. Ethan and I could have shot this in an hour. And that's not like, kind of like what you said, depending on the project, doing it the industry way has benefits, but there's also reasons why you should do that. Obviously, like if on big multi-million-dollar productions, there's so many moving pieces, you have to have those steps built into the process. Otherwise, you know,
things would get lost.
There'd be no communication whatsoever. Those steps are important for big industry productions.
Yeah.
But I found that on small budget sets, like really low budget, it really just holds you back from what you could be doing, really. But not to totally knock that style or anything. I will say I love how on a traditional film set everyone does have a different job and that's their only focus, because I'm just so sick and tired of doing
Everything.
Yeah.
And even with La Danza now, because I got a camera for that one, and I'm like the co-cinematographer now, and there's a lot of shoot days where Ethan's not there, and it's just me running, and I'm on screen, I'm shooting, I'm directing, I'm getting food, I'm doing this, and it's just like overwhelming. And so so like even when we shot together, all three of us for La Danza, it was nice just having Ethan's doing camera, Zach's doing the slate, or doing, you know, holding up our janky
rig,
our janky rig or whatever. And I having that level of just like everybody's got their own thing that they're just focusing on. That would be, honestly, that'd be nice to have sometimes.
Yeah.
That'd be really nice.
Breath of fresh air.
Yeah. But anyways.
Anyway, we digress.
Yeah. So what I'll say about film school, again, I've said this before too, is to you, Zach. I'm sure I've said to you, but make sure you're networking with people.
Yeah.
And meeting new people. Because I didn't do that, and now I'm stuck with Ethan forever. Yeah, networking. Meet some Canadian filmmakers, or who else is there? Because, and we'll bring them on to Doom Productions. Because that was the one thing. If I had to go back, I would make sure I spent more time actually networking and getting to know people, other than just being a loner at film school. I feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah. Do you have you thought ahead to after film school?
A little bit. Yeah. Not as much as I probably should have. But yeah.
I'm assuming your dream thing, like us, is like to direct movies.
Yeah.
Pay to direct movies, I'm assuming. Okay.
Yeah, that's the goal, is big budget feature film. Would love to, or even like a medium or smaller budget.
Just any money.
Just anything, honestly. Anything, please.
I don't need much. Just a studio apartment is plenty. Just enough food to get by.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, we'll have to talk, like, it'd be great to go all in on, like, crowdfunding a movie together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could make that our focus. That'd be great. Because then we wouldn't have to...
That's the big step.
I know we've said not to crowdfund before, which sounds hypocritical. But I think for certain projects...
Not to crowdfund for everything.
Yes.
That's what we say.
Pick and choose, and just be. Well, I don't know if "careful" is the right word. But
Wise.
Be wise. Yes.
If it's Wild Boys, we probably
not.
don't need the money. We can make it more effectively without it. And it's not a production that'll take months of time and lots of prep. But if it's something like, this isn't a thing, but like The Bell Rings 5, right? If it's a big, giant movie, this big production.
Have you been reading my Bell Rings 5 script?
I snuck a peek at your journal earlier.
I skipped numbers 2 through 4. I just figured they were useless.
If it's a big production with a lot of work and a lot of people, it's like, well, maybe that might be worth putting some money into it.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
One day.
That'll come up at some point.
Yeah.
We'll get there when we get there. What are you looking forward to going back to school?
Just getting to reconnect with my my fellow peers. That's gonna be really great.
We're not enough for you?
That's gonna be really great, and just getting to work more with the equipment and stuff like that, because.
What do they give you? What kind of equipment do you guys have?
Oh man,
Rebel T2Is?
I'm not gonna remember what everything's called.
Sony XA10s.
Yeah, some mini DV tapes.
They had a decent variety.
Do you guys have Reds?
Oh, I have no clue.
You don't spend hours a day on YouTube watching tech videos?
I'm
Come
sorry.
on.
What are the? It sounds like this is mostly a production-based program.
Yeah.
Is there any film studies classes as a part of it, or is it mostly production?
I think there might be some. I took a few in community college,
Yeah.
which were great.
PCC's film studies courses are really good.
But I think they're more in like the literature realm.
That's what they were classified at PCC.
You could get language credit.
It was language
Yeah.
arts. It was literature, technically, the film studies classes.
Yeah, I knew a few. Excuse me. A few of them were like credited as like English courses. Others were like writing courses, like the screenwriting ones were in that. Obviously,
They didn't have a lot of film production. They had a little bit, but it wasn't.
Depended on the campus.
Yeah, it was only one
Yeah.
campus that had it.
It was Cascade.
Yeah, it was Cascade. I took their. I was on the acting side of it. I didn't take the actual production side, but I acted in student productions.
Yeah, I took the production side, but that was like right when COVID hit, so didn't really get to work with cameras much. Mostly just Zoom stuff. So
Well, you can use whatever camera you want these days.
that is true.
That's what I love about going on TikTok. It's so funny. There's a trend of so many people taking. Here's a terrible camera from like 2003. It's got horrible digital grain. It can only shoot like 480 by 220p.
Yep.
We're gonna do a whole photo shoot on it, and it's just like that's a thing now. People are using digital grain as its own kind of aesthetic.
I can't tell you. I mean, I know we live in Portland, so that biases things automatically. But I can't tell you how many times I've been walking down Portland and I'll see someone slinging a dad mini DV cam over their shoulder, and they're actually shooting on it. Like they're not, and they're just like with their
VHS
friends,
camera,
just like filming with their friends, going for the old retro family video style. And it's like, dude, right on. Good for you guys.
It's awesome, and I think it just kind of further proves. I mean, just because there's a nicer paintbrush out there doesn't mean you can't like paint with old paintbrushes. Whereas like they're on film, there's a tendency to like the newest red, the newest Ari or Alexa or whatever's out there. It's nice to have people being, well, we don't have to go 6K or 8K. We're still far away from like I mean, 4K TVs are a thing,
Yeah.
but I don't think the average not even everybody
even
has that.
Yeah, no.
My TV's a piece of junk.
Like you don't even have a Blu-ray player.
I don't even have a Blu-ray player. I have my DVD VCR combo over there, and I'm content. And I have my Google Home on there, though. That's how I get away with it. I stream.
Yo, that is the same TV that we had in our dorm.
Oh, nice.
The audio is absolute trash.
It's garbage.
It's trash.
You need a sound bar.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
we're
upgrade
gonna
the TV
try to
this year.
invest in a sound bar because we went. I binged watched Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
This term, which probably wasn't the best for some of my classes at the beginning of the year.
I'm gonna when I move later
Sound was
in a month.
terrible.
In a month, I'm gonna move. That's what I'm gonna upgrade and redo
nice.
everything. I'm holding
Yeah.
off until then.
That
Once I
makes
go
sense.
broke.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about old cameras and stuff that are great, like my favorite camera to shoot on for photography is that old thing right there. It's it's the first model. There are 5 models in now, and it's like super expensive cameras. It's like no. The old one it's so good. My Fuji X100.
You don't need
beautiful.
you don't have the need to have the newest technology.
When I got that camera off Facebook Marketplace, it smelled like cigarette smoke. It was I call that camera my rescue because she was bad shape. I love her. I love her so much.
Yeah.
All my cameras are rescues.
Yeah. It's I think the only big concern, well, not even concern, the only interesting thing to see how things will shake up is like film is a physical, like there's a huge archive of canisters of like classic movies and stuff, and all
Yeah.
students have them. I wonder digitally what that looks like, because there's obviously like big hard drives and computers, and I want to know how they archive their films.
Yeah, I'd be curious.
And all the
to know
raw
that.
footage and all the sound mixing and stuff and all the
I'm like,
project files.
What's lost?
We know that
too?
they-
Like,
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
went
it's-
missing? Like what's just like unaccounted for?
Well, because like I think it was Stanley Kubrick. He on one of his movies he like burned all the unused footage because he just didn't want to keep it.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't want anybody to use
Our
it.
equvalent of putting it in the trash bin. on
I
our
know. So I
computer.
wonder would studios like just drag it into the trash bin and
Yeah,
delete
is it just like were there like days where you go into the back lot of like Warner Bros and just find reels of unused shots that's in the dumpster that they're just nixing? Yeah, because I mean, what's that story about from Pixar with like was it Toy Story 2?
Toy Story 2
With the iPad, it was on
lost.
like was it a hard drive that it was just on? Like it was just on
I
some
think an
hard drive.
assistant, someone
Yeah.
took it home to work on it, and it was deleted from
The main
Pixar.
computers,
Yeah, the
yeah.
main computer, and she brought it back, and it was saved.
Yeah.
oh dang.
So I wonder like what was the protocol there? I know that story's like there's the information I just can't think of on the top of my head, but like yeah. That stuff is super it's gotta take up so much space.
Yeah,
I think about too, like how does YouTube keep up with all the story? I mean, I guess they're Google and they can do whatever they want.
Google can do what they want.
But I want to know what their like mega structure, mega billion petabytes or whatever of. This is me just making up words at this point, but
All that good stuff. Yeah, but anyways, back to film school.
Yeah, back to film school. Wow, that was a tangent that went deep there for like 2 minutes.
I know. Yeah, I mean, any last thoughts you have on film school or any of your experiences there?
I had an absolute blast. It was a lot of fun. It definitely came with its challenges, both like academically, but also because it was like in a completely different country.
Yeah.
So there's that.
You get
But
paid for things in loonies and
Toonies.
whatever. Loonies and toonies.
Do you have a toonie? What did you just call me?
I got 2 knees. No.
I had a great joke. I'm not going to say on this podcast though.
Okay.
Keep it family friendly here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess as you get into your more film production classes, we want to know what's going on in the world of.
Oh yeah.
Do you know if you're building up, if your program is building up to like a capstone, like a bigger project? Do you know what that would
is.
be?
A big thesis
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
I talked with my buddy Ronan, who's also in the program, and we had this really great idea for a story that's a fan film on Harley Quinn.
Oh,
And
that's
we
cool.
really want to do it at some point, and we're kind of tempted to do it as the capstone.
How long is the capstone?
Yeah.
I talked with the professor that's in charge of it, and basically he said, that nobody's ever done a feature film as it before.
You got to do it.
I
Okay,
have to do it.
You
And
have
I
to
was
do a
like,
feature film, no
he
matter
was
what.
he was like kind of apprehensive about the idea, and I was
Did
like,
you show him Wild Boys 1 and 2?
I told him about him. We'll see if he sees him. But
You cannot
man.
not do
I-
a feature.
You would be the
he said it was
first
never
person-
done before, and that only made me want to do it more.
Exactly. Okay.
That's a challenge.
How many years is your program? 4 years?
Yeah.
4 years? Okay. So you're going to go into year 2. So
Well, it's complicated. It's
You're
like
in, like,
2/3
year 3,
just because
yeah.
of like how many.
oh, gotcha.
It's
okay.
technically my 4th year of college that I'm going into, but just because things didn't transfer, it's 2/3.
When it gets into that year of production or whatever,
We will fly out to
we'll
Canada.
fly
if
out
we
for the
have to.
production.
You
Yes.
have us.
Yeah.
We'll come up to help with your feature.
You
have to
Even
make
if
that
it's just like a
sure.
weekend or like a week, we'll come up to do it.
I would love that so much. That'd be great.
Yeah.
No one better make a feature before you. You know, oh, that'd
Yeah.
be so crushing.
Oh my gosh, that would piss me off if someone made a feature in the program before you did.
If you're listening and you go to Redeemer University in Canada,
Back off.
You stop. Let this let this
I heard let this moist.
let this boys
This moist boy.
let this boy's memes not be a dream. Let it happen.
Yeah. Well, now, yeah, okay. So now you know you're working towards a big feature in the next few years.
Yeah.
That's the hope. We'll see if it happens, but that's what I really want to do.
And
You
that's-
don't make this feature. We're enrolling and we're making it instead.
well, that's the great thing about film school theses too, is because you're not necessarily working. You're not necessarily have other kind of responsibilities. It's a time in your life where you that is your responsibilities to make a movie.
Yeah.
And you don't really have to worry about anything else unless you're working or whatever else you got going on in your life. So the time that you'll be able to dedicate to this feature in college will be, you won't necessarily have that again.
Yeah.
Because we were able to, when I was in film school, I was able to dedicate a lot of time just to making movies, because that was all I did. That was my job. Like, my job was to be a student and go to school.
The next time you had that opportunity was a global pandemic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So take advantage and go all in.
Yeah.
Make it wild, make it big, and you're also gonna have resources to all the campus, all the students that you know, their resources, the cameras,
Yeah,
the
the
equipment.
Yeah, the equipment is.
Having nice lighting
Yeah.
equipment is, that's so good.
Yeah.
And a bunch of, it's kind of like a you scratch our backs, we'll scratch yours kind of thing with the students, because it's like you can have a whole army of students who will help you out with your feature, and then all you got to do is just do like the sound or like do the help out on
PA.
set for their film.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm ready. We're going back to school.
Yeah. Well, I guess stay tuned and follow Doom Productions for more updates on Zach's
Capstone.
capstone.
The years-long journey starting now.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I think it's a good time to move on to our next segment.
Yeah.
Because we can talk about this a little bit, or more than we usually do. I think because it's now that Zach's back and everything. I guess.
It's a little different.
What are you working on? The segment in our show. What are you working on? Where we
bit
talk about what we've been up to. We've hinted at a couple projects so far. Do we want to just take it one at a time and talk about where we are in the process and how that's been going and how Zach's been helping out with all that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I think that sounds good.
All right.
Just give a whole rundown. Yeah.
Well, you got the
Obviously, the Bell
biggest
Rings
one.
is coming. There's not what more is there to say? A teaser has come out.
what has Zach been doing in the process? Because he was here for a
Yeah.
little bit of shooting.
Yep. Zach is in the movie.
He's in the movie.
Yeah. Zach
And
has a role.
then he left.
Then he
and
left.
now he's back.
Yeah.
So what is now that he's back? How does that change our process for the Bell Rings, or your process, really?
Not at all.
Oh, well, thanks for nothing, Zach.
Oh wait, no, that's not true. I'm a
Boy,
jerk.
I wrote a
totally
page
I
forgot.
was setting you up, and you just dropped the ball.
I was confused. I forgot. Oh, the last 2 weeks have been a blur. No, so a couple weeks ago, we sat down. Jordan and I sat down. Actually, no, you just watched it on your own.
Yeah.
I sat you down and handed you a flash drive.
Yeah.
With the movie on it, and then same thing with Zach. Zach got an SD card with the movie on it, and so you guys independently watched the movie and have given me feedback and notes from all kinds of things, from story beats, rearranging scenes, sound stuff, just technical little things. So my job over the last couple weeks, and continues to be, just moving things around, going through those notes, addressing them, making changes that I see are right, keeping things the same that I feel like, nope, it needs to be this way instead. So really that's what my process has been recently. With Zach, it's great because I have an extra voice to share feedback on.
And he's got a unique process or perspective, because I was involved from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And I knew your vision from the very beginning, and pretty much all the details of like what you want to do, and being involved as like an actor and doing the music for it.
And a co-writer at a certain level.
To a certain extent. You still wrote it, but like...
but you helped me through that process.
Yeah. So, but then Zach, you helped out last summer. And then that was the extent of your involvement back then.
Yeah.
And now you're back and you get to see the rough cut. So you had a fresh perspective.
Yeah, like
completely.
I only read part of the script. I never read the whole thing. I was only aware of like a few story beats outside of what we shot together. But
I haven't asked you this, and I'll ask you now on the podcast. I think it would be interesting. How has what you imagine the bell rings like versus seeing it? What like impacted you, or what were you thinking as you were watching the movie? Give the people a little tease.
Yeah.
Without spoiling anything. If that's too much of a question, you can make it short.
I didn't entirely know what to expect, but I knew just from what I had read and what I knew about the story that it had a lot of really good potential. And after having seen the rough cut, even from seeing the rough cut, I can tell you this: it is a very good movie. It is a very good movie.
Cool.
How would you describe the movie if you're trying to sell someone on the bell rings?
I would say it goes back to a time in film when you don't have to rush through everything to get to the next story beat. It takes its time, but it doesn't take too much time. And that's really good, is finding that sweet spot, because you really get to connect with the characters. It takes its time to be able to really get you immersed in the essence of each character and their relationships with one another, and the particular circumstances that dictate the setting of the movie, which is really great. It just feels like one of those like old classic movies, not like ancient like Frankenstein,
like 1950s,
yeah,
1940s.
1950s to 70s, like early 70s, pre like Star Wars, or even like Star Wars time. Like Star Wars was a fast-paced movie when it came out, but like just that era, it feels like I got a lot of vibes of like Unforgiven, even with like the opening shot. That doesn't really spoil anything, but like that right away was like, that's
Are there any other movies that you could compare it to, like tonally?
Dang, it's pretty unique. It's a good question. There probably is a movie or multiple movies that are comparative to it. I'm struggling to think of them right now. I haven't seen every movie in existence. So that's kind of a down.
Come
That's
on,
the down.
Zach.
That is
That's the downside of this question. But there are definitely a lot of themes that are executed really well in this movie that are popular in a lot of films as well. Yeah. I'd say there's an aspect of kind of, I would say Lord of the Rings.
I never would have made that comparison.
I love it. What a left field.
But
Elaborate,
not-
please.
yes,
I want to
but
know.
not in the grand scale. I
Oh,
particularly
I know what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Okay, I know. Okay.
I don't want to spoil too
Oh.
much,
Yeah, actually, that
I
makes
actually
sense.
know. Yeah, I get where
But-
you're coming from. Yeah.
but
yeah.
there's particularly in regards to the books, but also just in like the focus on Frodo and Sam and their relationship, and the circumstances that affect that, and such like that. I'm walking a very fine line here,
You know what?
but I'll just leave it at that.
Lord of the Rings.
I believe you now.
Bell Rings is pretty much Lord of the Rings.
Bell Rings is basically Lord of the Rings. No, I totally know what you're. Yeah, we get it now.
That threw me off for a sec, but not thinking about
Yeah.
what's in the movie. I was like, oh, because of that thing.
Yeah, because of that
because
right
of that
there.
thing.
Because of that right there.
If you're
Yeah.
listening and you can't see, I'm pointing to something in Ethan's room, but you'll find out what that is in the movie.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. Cool. So we got the bell rings.
Yep.
That's what we're working on.
Working on that.
Do
That's
you
in
have a
post.
timeline, a rough timeline, anyways?
I don't give timelines.
Okay.
I have
It's
bad
done when it's
history
done.
with timelines.
It's done when it's done.
Bell rings
Coming soon.
sometime.
Yeah, at some point. Then what I've been working on is La Danza, which we just had our 5th day of shooting, I think, or third. I shot a little bit. Let's see, April. Wait, March, May. Wait, what comes after March? Is it April?
April,
Okay.
yeah.
We shot a little bit in April. Shot a little bit last weekend. Right? It was last weekend.
This last weekend, yeah, 'cause it was Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah,
Sunday and Monday.
And we've been keeping up that pace of shooting 2 days a month. So I have a month to prep for everything. That was great because Zach was able to help out as I talked about, and that's just been so much fun. It's that pace of shooting has been very it's been very nice because I'm not like consumed by it like the entire year, my entire week, but I just chip away at the process a little bit every week, and then it culminates to a weekend of shooting, and then we start over. It's nice. The footage is looking amazing. The music is sounding great. This is all my opinion.
We haven't seen it yet.
Haven't seen it yet.
We've heard some of the music though, and
Yeah.
We have.
it is good.
I've seen the footage that I've shot in an untampered state, and I can't wait to see it in the final form.
I'll say that it's. I think it'll be my best movie. Yeah,
You heard it here first, folks.
it's gonna be my best movie. It's gonna be the one to beat, and that makes me sad.
Some say it's a lot like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you two? Because you guys haven't read the script. I mean, the
No.
script is
I've
very
seen.
different.
I've flipped through storyboards. I have not read the script, so I don't. I have my thoughts on what is happening because of
Yeah.
what you say on set.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, so that's going. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. But I have no idea what's actually happening.
Just to warn people, I will. There is a purpose behind it all. There is a I guess intention, for lack of a better word. But I'm never gonna explicitly say it. It's gonna be one of those.
He's gonna be like David Lynch, where it's like, this is my most spiritual film. Care to elaborate on that? No.
No. It's gonna be. And I don't think I think I've told. I don't remember who was telling this story. I don't think anybody's gonna like this movie beside us.
Yeah.
Like, I'm making this explicitly like for like what we're interested in and the kind of stuff that
Yeah.
we're in, and the films that really influenced me in like film school and stuff. But outside of like that, I don't have the expectation that
1-star letterbox review.
Yeah, like I'm cool. I'm cool if it's like, you know, if the YouTube dislike button was still a thing. I'd be cool if it was all like dislikes. Like,
Yeah.
I don't expect it to be well liked or a lot of people to enjoy it necessarily. When I say it's going to be my best movie, that's like
For you.
for me.
Yeah.
For me, this is everything that I like in a movie.
Yeah.
But anyways, but Ladanza, bell rings, kind of old news. Obviously, Zach's in town. It would be a shame if we didn't use Zach's presence here to make a feature with. So, Zach, care to talk about what we're working on with you?
Yeah, so immediately after I returned, and even somewhat before, even before I left, actually, there was the question of, when are you coming back? We'd like to continue on this, let's say, saga that we have started. And so as soon as I got back, we scheduled a time to meet up, and we started laying the groundwork for the basic storyline of Wild Boys 3.
That's right.
You heard it here first.
Wild Boys 3 is happening this summer. We don't know when.
No, we haven't really figured that out.
But we've got the outline. It's all kind of worked out. It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be so fun.
It's going to be wild.
Yeah.
There's some stuff in here that we're not quite sure how we're going to pull off, but we know we can. It's just a you know, we're going to pull a lot of tricks out of our magic, you know, hat or whatever. It's going to be pretty wild.
It's going to be a good time.
What can we say about it, I wonder, that wouldn't spoil anything? Because obviously we keep things pretty close to the chest.
Well, here's what we can say, I think. There's more squatching in this movie. More Sasquatch.
Yeah.
More cryptid hunting of sorts.
Yeah.
And yeah. Because the first one, obviously, is very Bigfoot focused. The second one was a bit more Bigfoot's on the back burner. We're just celebrating the holidays. We're going back in. The adventure continues.
Yeah, Sasquatch plays a big role in this one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to think of what else we can share.
It's gonna be bigger.
Bigger.
The ensemble grows.
I think. Yeah, I don't even want to confirm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
No. That's probably about as much as we can say.
Yeah. Anyways, we got Wild Boys 3 coming.
Yeah.
It's on
There
the
will be
horizon.
questions. There will be some answers.
We're very quick.
But there's room for more.
We're quick at filming these, so
Yeah.
you know, y'all can expect as soon as we're done with it, it'll be out pretty soon.
Yeah.
The turnaround for Wild Boys 2 was pretty quick.
It was very fast.
And that was even with delays too.
Yeah, that was
There was a slight delay, but
Christmas got in the way.
Yeah.
Christmas got in the
Christmas
way,
hadn't
always.
been happening for the Christmas special. It would have been out just fine.
Yeah, but that'll happen. I mean, obviously, once the cameras start rolling, we'll get through it pretty quick. So
yeah.
We
Yeah.
know the Wild Boys at this point. It's not hard
It's
for
gonna be
us to
fun.
shoot those. It's just
yeah.
it's like if filming is an exercise, this is like just doing the sport that you love.
Yeah.
It's just Wild Boys is just jump in and do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any other projects that we got to talk about? I'm trying to think. That's it, right?
I think that for now, yeah. At least everything that's public or that wants to be public.
Well, we always have projects that
There's
we're not
always
going to
something.
discuss publicly.
Yeah.
But is that all the public projects?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, cool.
That's good enough for us.
Well, let's go move on to our last segment, which I got to pull out Letterbox for.
shoot.
What have you been watching? Which we
Kenobi!
haven't done this in a long time, so I feel like we've watched a lot.
I know,
probably.
honestly, my phone is behind you. Could you pass it to me?
What if I just held it hostage and I was like, "You got to guess what you've seen."
Oh gosh, I would be so bad. I'm the worst at remembering what I've watched. This is me hoping that I've even logged it.
Let's
Okay.
see.
Oh, geez, that was a while ago.
Because when was the last time we had a "What were you watching"?
That was before Wild Boys
Kinda
2,
with
probably.
Allison. With all of us.
Oh.
Like with Allison, we kind of had one back at Videos of the Future, but that one was kind of built into the thread of the episode,
Yeah, you're
so
right.
it wasn't quite as like clean cut.
It's been a long time. Did we? Gee, I remember talking about Pirates of the Caribbean. Did we
Yeah.
talk about Doctor Strange?
I haven't seen it yet, but you guys.
Zach and I have seen it.
Oh shoot!
I saw Doctor Strange.
knew-
I know most of the spoilers of that movie already.
I
don't
I
stress.
made a slip by
No,
accident.
you're fine.
earlier
You're
today.
fine. You're
It
fine.
was bad.
It was not because I already knew.
I
I go on
hurts
Twitter. I go on Twitter. I see things.
No.
It's been a while. Oh, geez. Okay, this is. We should probably pick like I don't know. I got a lot of films in here because it's been a while.
Yeah.
Pick your favorite thing you've seen in the last few weeks, I guess. I mean, we've seen all the blockbusters pretty much, like Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange. What else has come out? anything
Top
bi-
Gun Maverick has come out. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't
though.
seen that either.
I heard it's
I was gonna go
fabulous,
see
though.
Northman last week, and then
You
I
haven't seen
couldn't.
Northman yet?
I haven't had time.
Oh, that hurts.
You've
love
seen it?
Yeah, it's
I
good.
know. I know.
good.
Okay, I'll put
Now I don't
that
have a
one on my
car,
list.
so
Yeah.
No.
Titan, I saw finally after a year.
gosh, I still
like a
need-
long
yeah.
time of. Oh boy, it was rough. That movie's there's some stuff in there that's like it's hard. It's like physically hard to watch. Like
Yeah.
I'm not a squeamish person, but I had to watch the movie like through my fingers at various points because of how gruesome it got.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a wild movie. Very good movie.
I saw this horror movie that came out in 2020 called Nocturne, which
Oh
takes-
yeah.
Have you
I
seen
heard
that?
of that. I haven't seen it, but I've heard of that.
Yeah,
one.
Sarah and I watched that a couple weeks ago, but it was really cool. Yeah, it's a very neat, like high school set horror movie about these different kids in music school, and they're all like competing for this like big awards thing at the end. And this one girl finds like a piece of music that's, binds her soul to a demon, and she to get better and better, but it also it's like does bad things obviously because it's a horror movie.
Yep.
But very cool, great visuals. Just a good, solid horror movie. Just very fun.
Yeah.
Good story, good visuals. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, speaking of horror, I just the other day finished Stranger Things 4 Part 1.
I'm still in. Sarah and I are in season 3 right now. I've already seen through season 3. I'm not starting season 4 until she catches up. So
Yeah.
I'm behind.
I wanted to take my time with it this time, and that definitely paid off. That was
So you
That
watch
was
like one
good.
episode at a time.
one or two, yeah.
Nice.
So I kind of spread them out. The last couple I ended up watching all together.
I think I started the first I watched the first episode of season 4, but I haven't seen anything else since.
It, in my personal opinion, it was very good.
Very good. Is it the
Yeah.
best season?
Ooh, maybe. I'd have to watch it again.
Okay, that's cool.
And we're waiting on the last 2 episodes too, because that comes in July.
Oh, yeah,
and it's
that's
supposed
right,
to wrap
that's
up that.
Feature length finales.
Two
right?
Two and a
Yeah.
half hours
Yeah.
for one episode. That's insane.
I'm glad it's
Yeah.
happening after school's out.
yeah. That's yeah.
So far, I have been very impressed by the show in general and this particular season. I would say season 4 and season 2 are definitely probably my top 2,
Okay.
in my opinion. Of
I
course, my opinion's not the right or only opinion.
I feel like with Stranger Things I have such a weird relationship to it because I every time it comes out, I'll like binge it all the day it comes out. And then I won't remember anything that happens, but then I'll just be like, well, everybody's talking about it, so I might as well
Yeah.
just watch the season so I can be up to date.
Yeah.
And this time I started season 4, like I said, and I was like, I don't know who's that? And my sister was like, that's the main character. And I'm like, oh, so I have to, this summer, I'm going to just rewatch all of it, I think, because I can't track anything.
Yeah.
I don't. There's characters that are popping up that I don't recognize, and there's like details. And I'm like, I should probably know. This is. I don't. I mean, I don't. I'm just not connected to it. I'm like, okay, I got to get reconnected to this by rewatching it all.
The show's continuity between seasons is it's very interlinked, but it's very fun to watch all the way through. It's been great to watch with Sarah.
It's stellar. No, I rewatched the first 3 seasons before this one came out, and that was definitely a good decision because they make it feels very much like a movie in how it references past events
Yeah.
and expects you to know them.
Yeah.
And it's like even like really subtle things, and it's like it's really good.
Well, like this isn't a spoiler, I don't think.
Okay.
But in the opening scene of season 4,
Yeah.
there's Matthew Modine's in it, and I'm like, who is this guy? And then my sister's like, that was the guy in season. That was like the villain in season 1. I'm like, I don't remember him. What's? I was
Dr. Brenner. Yeah.
Stuff like that. It's like, okay, I would really benefit from going back and rewatching it because it felt like a once a year kind of thing. Like once a year, the whole country comes together and watches Stranger Things. But then
and then they disappear.
It disappears. Then I never watch
the
it
next
in
one,
between. Yeah, like I'm like, that's not a show you rewatch. You just watch it once a year.
Yeah, you just know it.
But anyway, it kind of makes you think of like network television, like back in the day before
It's like
streaming.
everyone watching Lost or like Game of Thrones.
Our friend JC was like, he started watching Lost, I think, in midway through the season 1 or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is insane. I gotta. And so once it came on DVD, he binged through it before binging was a thing or whatever on DVD.
And then just got caught up and
Just
stayed with it.
Like, and I kind of remember those days, just like, oh gosh, I hope I can get home in time for Smallville or whatever was coming out. Just like,
No, Smallville is exactly where my mind went to. That era, like that was it.
it's so nice that we can just stream things whenever.
Oh yeah.
Technology is beautiful.
Yeah.
But it is fun. I'm like shows like Kenobi that still come out weekly. I still enjoy that. I think that's pretty neat. Even though
Are you both up to date with Kenobi?
he's not, I am.
I have not seen. I'm seeing episode 3 tonight.
I had a couple spoilers on Twitter, so I had to watch it. So I watched it last night.
I've been staying up till midnight to watch them.
I know.
I
Well,
guess the first episode.
I thought they
dropped
came
early.
out Wednesday nights. Like
No, for Tuesday.
yeah, it's Tuesday, so I was off by 1 last week. So I was that's how I missed it.
Well, last week it came out on the
Friday.
On the
Yeah.
Friday.
So I was all like, I was expecting that, and then I saw still. I was like, I haven't seen that episode yet. Oh shoot, they dropped one.
It's so far I'm really liking it.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool stuff.
Yeah. We'll see how it turns out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to do a dedicated podcast episode to that.
Well, that
I would be down to do. I would. Yeah. Yes, but also Doctor Strange 2. Yes.
Doctor Strange 2.
Once Ethan sees
Once
it, we
Ethan
gotta
sees it.
discuss it. Our opinions.
I know.
What else is
'Cause-
coming out this summer? What's a blockbuster that's coming out soon? Because I'm so bad at like
I don't
keeping
know
up.
what's coming out.
Thor:
either.
Love and Thunder comes out July 8th.
Oh, is that July?
I think
Okay.
it's 8th or the 2nd. I don't remember which.
Yeah, that is coming out. That looks pretty fun.
What else is coming out?
Nope. Jordan Peele's new
Oh
movie.
yeah.
Hey, I still haven't seen Us.
Oh,
I
that
know.
one's good.
I need to watch his movies. I haven't seen Get Out or Us yet, and those are like very high on my list of like to watch.
Gosh, he's so good, so good. Thor would be, I don't. Minions: The
one.
Rise of Gru. We could do that.
Wait, really? That's coming out?
I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm not up to date on any of that stuff. I saw the first Despicable Me,
Yeah.
and maybe some of the other ones.
I think I've seen the first 2.
Oh, that Elvis movie's coming out this year.
Isn't that this weekend?
that
right?
Yeah, that's
comes
like coming out really soon.
Yeah. I think it's out tomorrow. Yeah.
Anyways, lots of stuff we should see. Do dedicated stuff too. But it's also like, there's so much to do, so much to cover.
Man, I can't keep up with all this stuff.
I guess, is there a movie coming out this year that is like on the top of your list? I mean,
The Northman.
The North. Why haven't you seen?
I haven't had time.
Oh, of the ones that we have seen, or the ones
The
that
ones
we're
that
going to see?
that's gonna come out this year that you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta see that.
I mean, I enjoyed the last Thor Ragnarok, so I'm excited for Love and Thunder. Again, any movie that's already out that I list, I feel bad because it's like I know I should have just seen it, so I'm not going to list any of those. Even though Doctor Strange 2 is on there.
Zach,
What
what's
else comes
coming
out this year?
Oh,
I'm
man.
skimming through.
Um,
Hocus Pocus 2? What?
Oh.
I haven't seen Hocus Pocus 1.
Oh, that's a movie that you watch once a year, or when I was a kid. That
It's
was
like a Halloween one, right?
That was like Stranger Things. Like you watch it around Halloween, and then you never watch it again. Like it doesn't exist outside of that month. Oh my gosh, that's a great idea for a movie. There's a VHS tape that only appears during like Halloween or during the month of October, and then disappears. And
It's
all
like
these kids
the
remember
Mandela
it.
effect.
And all these kids remember it, and they were like,
We gotta find it.
we got to track this tape down from our childhood. And it depends, like, it's like cursed or something. It's, I don't know.
It's just that movie VHS.
Copyright Doomed Productions right there.
Yes,
That's our
absolutely.
idea.
Yes. The next Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Any movie that involves a VHS, we copyright that one too. That's
VHS
ours.
tapes are Halloweens.
Yes.
We own it, obviously. Gosh, there's way too many movies coming out.
Yeah.
I can't.
I can't even.
I'm not.
Avatar,
Is that coming out this year?
Yeah.
That's right, it's
Avatar
Christmas.
2.
That's
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
That's
that's
one.
gonna be crazy.
That's the
Never,
movie.
even to all the people saying, but the first one, blah, blah. Never bet against James Cameron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the numbers are anything, never bet against James Cameron.
Yeah.
That
If you don't like the first one, look at how high grossing that was. That was like a decade the highest grossing movie ever.
And that's just speaking financially, but
Yeah.
like he's always pushing technology.
He's
like the last.
He's
one
up
of
there
the
with like
last
George
guys.
Lucas. You know, he's like the
Yeah.
last one still doing it.
He's the last guy really put him and Peter Jackson.
Yes.
They're like pushing technology and advancing it in some way.
Is Peter Jackson working on anything right now?
Well, he's been doing documentary stuff. He's been
Yeah. That's
right, 'cause he did the
creating the
Beatles one.
techniques to like restore old film footage.
That's right.
And I haven't seen it, but they will not grow. The World War I documentary,
Yeah.
where they
Yeah, they
res-
colorize it.
they restored it, they colorized it, and they had voice artists dub over what people are saying, so you get an idea of
dang.
like what
they
they're
read their
speaking.
lips.
They read the lips and they wrote the script, and they're like, you're gonna dub over and be this guy's voice.
Holy
That's
cow.
insane.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Go Peter.
And then the Beatles documentary obviously was big. That was
Yeah.
great.
I haven't seen
Had a
that
lot of
one
fun.
yet. I need to get back on the big one I was watching for a bit was the Genius Kanye West one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
need to watch the next part
You
of
told
that.
me,
'Cause
yeah,
they're pretty
we
long.
talked about that one.
We
yeah.
did, yeah. Because that's just such a interesting, just fly on the wall documentary.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. But I need to watch the Beatles one. Even though I don't know much. I don't know. I was never a big Beatles guy.
You
but
don't need to know anything.
That
It's,
yeah.
Apparently, Crescendo is a lot like Get Out. I wouldn't know because I haven't seen Crescendo, but I've seen Get Out, or not Get Out. Get Back.
Yeah, get back.
Yeah. Anyways, any closing thoughts, gentlemen? I think we've been rambling long enough.
I think so. if you stuck through this far,
Thank
good
you.
for you.
Yeah.
All three of you.
Yeah. Well, thank you for listening, everyone. If you like this episode of the podcast, you can check us out on Spotify or YouTube, wherever you're listening at. Feel free to like and subscribe. Doesn't take a whole lot of time out of your day, but it means a whole lot to us. And, we might put out a cool video someday, so you want to be subscribed for that.
At the very least, we make okay movies.
Yeah, we are always making feature films. If you want to be the first to know when The Bell Rings comes out, La Danza.
Then ring that bell down below.
Yeah. You got to ring the bell. Anyways.
Oh, jeez.
Thank you for listening, everyone. Zach is back. It's a good day.
It's a good omen.
Good omen. There are more great things to come. So thank you for listening, everyone, and we'll see you at the next episode.
I'm Ethan, by the way.